All right, so for today's lesson, you guys can see the topic is solving equations. Okay, so we'll kind of zoom into the main portion here, but we're going to be solving equations with like terms. Okay, and the thing is that the like terms might both be on the same side of an equation. So every equal sign has a left and a right side. So they may both be on the left side, they may both be on the right side, or they could be on both sides. Okay, so that's another thing that we have to worry about. Like, do we have a letter X on one side, on the left side, and one on the right side? So we got to join them together. Um, so you'll see that. Now remember, I work off of your homework, so these are questions from your homework. Okay, just so you can see, there are a total of, let's see, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions. So if I could do about 4 or 5, that'd be great, and then give you guys about half the homework. Okay, so that's usually what I try to do, give you guys about half the assignment. We'll do half of it together, then you gotta do the other half on your own. You still have to answer all the questions, by the way. Okay, when you do the homework, don't say, oh, Mr. B did that one, I'm not going to put an answer for it. Okay, make sure you still answer all the questions. So all right, so let's start off with some of the more basic type questions. So we'll look at question number 1. Okay, so looking at question number 1, you're going to see it says solve each equation. Notice how our equal sign right here, okay, there's a left side and a right side, but if you look, the variables are both on the left side. So what you're going to want to do is combine your like terms on the left side. Okay, you're going to want to get this b and this positive 7b and put them together. So b plus 7b, right? Remember, b is a 1b, right? So b plus 7b, that's going to be 8b plus 7 equals 7. Right? Now we have an equation with only one variable, so this is what we consider algebra 1 at this point, right? So we're going to have to get the variable b by itself. So you see that plus 7 next to it? Let's get rid of it. Let's subtract it on both sides. Okay, and there you go. Once we do that on both sides, remember that's called balancing an equation. You're going to be left with 8b, because this will cancel, equals to 7 minus 7 is 0. So what's my last step in order to get b by itself? Divide, right? Yeah, I want to divide by it. So let's divide both sides by 8. So that'll cancel. We get b has to equal to 0. So your answer would be A for this one. Okay, your answer would be A. Now, I want you to notice question 1 and question 2 are very similar. So I'm not going to do question 2, right? We usually like to put 2 types of questions of each that deal with a certain thing. So if you do question 1, usually question 2 is the same idea. If you do 3, question 4 is about the same idea, right? So let's look at question number 3. Okay, let's look at question number 3. So question 3 says x plus 7 equals 7 minus 8x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite it because I'm going to have to move some stuff around. So let me just rewrite this problem, okay? So x plus 7 equals 7 minus 8x. And remember, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand if you just want to talk to one of us, or if you just want to kind of say it out loud, that's fine too. By the way, when you do speak up, guys, do me a favor and use a little bit extra force on your voice because the mask obviously does dull you probably about like 10%. Okay? So that way at least I can hear you. Are you guys okay hearing me way out there? Okay. If not, let me know. So the main thing in this problem is, if you notice the equal sign, well, there it is. But notice how my like terms, one is on the left side and one is on the right side. Okay? So I'm going to have to join them together. Now, me personally, I like moving the variable that's smaller than the other. So notice I have a 1x on the left and I have a negative 8x on the right. So to me, I would rather move the negative 8x to the other side. That way my numbers stay positive. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and move a positive 8x to both sides. Now, is this the only way to do it? Definitely not. You can move the x to the other side as well. I'm just a little bit on the picky side where I'd rather not deal with negative numbers if I can avoid it, right? Just like fractions. If I can avoid fractions, I clear them out because then everything just looks easier, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This will cancel. So x plus 8x, that's 9x, plus 7 equals 7. Oh, interesting. We're going to end up getting the same answer for this one as the other one. So at this point, we're going to be trying to get x by itself, right? So we're going to subtract 7 on both sides. So minus 7, minus 7. Okay, this will cancel here. We get, I'm going to kind of move the work over here. We get 9x equals 0. So just like you guys told me in question 1, in order to get x by itself, we have to what? Divide, right? Thank you. So we're going to divide by 9. So x equals 0. Okay? So again, it's going to be A. I did not know it would be the same answer. I can guarantee you that 5 will not be 0 because if you look, there is no 0 option, right? So, but there you go. So by the way, if you're like, okay, I remember doing this stuff. Remember what I told you guys in the beginning. First chapter usually is a huge review, right? It's trying to get you back to this is what you're supposed to know, right? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I remember when I was in high school, as soon as I hit summer, I pretty much forgot everything I learned that previous year. Like some stuff stuck with me, but math usually left immediately, right? Math is one of those things where like, oh yeah, I remember doing that, but I don't know how to do it. But I do remember, I just don't know how, right? That was one of the subjects that I always recall having to relearn because my brain said, yes, you did it, but I don't know how you did it, okay? So I'll explain to you guys how math is kind of like having a boyfriend or a girlfriend in a bit, okay? But let's finish up a couple more of these things, okay? But yeah, it's a little thing that I learned once in college. One of my professors told me this, and I'm like, that's so true. But all right, here we go. Let's do number 6. Let's do number 6. Now, I may ask you guys for some help here. Some people wouldn't mind yelling some stuff out at me here. Number 6. In order to start doing number 6, what's my first step? Say it louder. Distribute. Thank you. So we're going to distribute, right? This 5 times 4a, this 5 times negative 4, right? We're going to distribute. So let me go ahead and do that. 4 plus. Now 5 times 4a is going to be what? All right, 20a, thank you. And 5 times negative 4? All right, thank you. Negative 20 equals to negative 76. Notice we do have some like terms on the left side. Now, granted, they're not variables, but they are numbers. I can combine this 4 with this negative 20 right there. So 4 minus 20 is a negative 16. So I'm going to get 20a minus 16 equals negative 76. What do I move? The 16 or the negative 16. What do I do to both sides to it? Thank you. I'm going to add 16. Okay, add 16 to both sides. And this is what we get. By the way, Rue, remember, did you check your grade? I don't know if you noticed, but I did give you your extra credit. Remember how you corrected me? So you got it. All right, I just wanted to make sure you knew that way. Go, show your parents. All right, show your parents. Let them see it. And tell them if they can give you money for doing over 100%. Who knows? Anybody else here have parents that pay them for grades? No? You do? Good for you. My parents used to do that with me. Okay? $10 every A. that I used to give, like every report card. So you better believe I was pulling good grades in high school whenever I could. That way I can get with like $70 on every report card if I could. I didn't always get 70, but usually at least 50. Try to make a deal with your parents, see, because there is no better driving force at you doing good in school than if you're getting paid for it, right? Because everybody's like, oh, I tell them, you're a student, that is your job. And the very first thing my students say is, I'm not getting paid. Well, have your parents pay you, right? Try to strike a deal. You'll see your grades go up right away, trust me. They do go up right away. Anyway, negative 76 plus 16. What is that? Negative 60, but yes, negative 60. So all we have to do now is we'll divide, right? Divide by 20. So A is negative 3. Okay, so your answer would be C. But yeah, talk to your parents. Try to strike a little deal. I'm sure they'll be willing to maybe. You don't think so? No? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, start it this way. Say, hey, if I can get all A's, will you guys pay me? Maybe they might. No? Maybe they'll give you a gift card? No? I mean, we'll see. Figure something out. Some kind of motivational thing for you. It's always good to have something that you're trying to achieve. So, all right. Any questions so far, guys, on any of this? I mean, question number 1, question number 3. Anything that you're like, I don't know what he did? Or question 6. All right, so here we go. So we got 10 questions. We got 2 more that we could possibly do. We'll try to do that. We'll try to see if we can get you to get half your homework done before we're done, okay? So I'm going to leave 10 for you guys because that one just looks fun to me. Fun to me usually does not mean fun to you. I apologize. But to me, doing math is actually fun. I actually enjoy it. Yeah, we'll do question 7 and we'll do question 9. Okay? So let's go ahead and do question 7 and then we'll do question 9. So question 7, first step is to all right, distribute. Thank you. So yeah, I'm going to be asking you guys to answer a little bit more here and there. So we got 64 equals 4 times negative 4n. That's negative 16n. And 4 times 4 is a positive 16. Okay? So what's my next step here? All right, subtract 16. Thank you. So minus 16 on both sides. And that's negative 16n on the right side because this is going to cancel out. And 64 minus 16. Anybody help me with that? 48, right? So last step is to, by what? I think I heard you say it. Divide by what? By negative 16, right? So negative 16, good. So my answer is going to be negative 3 equals to n. So yeah, some of these problems look really complicated, but if you really just kind of take your time, do the steps, don't rush it. They're not too bad. Okay. And let's do this last one, number 9, and then we'll get you guys to do your homework in here. And if you guys have questions, obviously you can feel free and ask. But number 9, same deal. You see a distribution, we are going to distribute, right? So let's distribute here. So let's rewrite 23 plus 3v equals negative 3. Now, negative 5 times 5, that's negative 25. Remember, you can use your calculators, which, by the way, I want to remind you guys, you're going to need calculators, okay? Because your quizzes, at least so far from what we're talking about, we're trying to see if we can do this digitally. your tests digitally. That means you're going to have to do them on a computer, kind of like your homework for CUDA. You'll do them on the computer. You will not be able to use your phones during the test as a calculator. You won't be able to. So make sure you guys get yourself a 4-function calculator, something small, $5-6. That's all you pretty much need. If you definitely cannot get one, I do have a limited amount. I think I have like 9. Well, we have close to almost 40 kids in here, so those 9 are not gonna reach everybody. Okay, so if you can, try to get yourself one. Like I said, $9 at the most will give you a really nice scientific calculator. Okay, or you know what I used to do before? I used to go to the dollar store and buy like 10 of them for $10, and then just give them to people. So I mean, I don't know if there's any at the dollar store, but I can go check. Granted, those only run on batteries, so that means that they will eventually die. Okay, but I mean, go to the dollar store. You can get them for $1. Anyway, so where was I? We distributed -5 times 5. That's -25. -5 times a -4v. That's going to be a positive 20v. Okay, my like terms on the right side are right here. Those are like terms on the right side. Let's fix that first. -3 minus 25 is what? Thank you. -28 plus 20v. And now I notice that I have the letter V on both sides, right? I have a 3v here, a positive 20v there. Which one is smaller? Well, the 3. So I'm going to move the 3 over. Okay? Just to keep numbers positive. Because if I move the 20 over, then 3 minus 20 is a -17. So then my numbers become negative, right? I'd rather keep them positive. So, all right, this will cancel. 23 equals -28 plus 17v. Notice my variable is positive, right? That's just my own preference. It's not wrong if you don't do it that way. That's just the way I like to see it. I want to try to make the problems look as easy as possible. So last step is what? What do I move? I'm going to move the -28. And actually, that's not the last step, but it's one of the last 2 steps. So we're going to add the 28 to both sides. That gives me 17v. And 28 plus 23 is 51. So now our last step is division, right? So divide by 17. V is 3. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I'm going to stop the video.